So all of this is based on what is the most essential debate in the social sciences, and probably the humanities, and it's freedom and determinism, or choice and chance. And the reason for that is that the reason it's the most essential debate is because everything that we talk about in the social sciences or regarding human behavior is an attempt to understand causality of human behavior. We want to understand why people do what they do and think what they think and believe what they believe. That's the whole field of sociology, and most of psychology, and much of cultural anthropology. There are two fundamental sources of causality, either internal sources or external. The internal are choices, our decisions, the motivations that come from within, that we choose freely. Why I wore this shirt today, why I chose to talk about this issue today. Decisions that I make. How and why am I here teaching at Penn State? How and why did I get a PhD in sociology? Why did I get a PhD? Why did I go to school? Well, how is it that I'm not already dead from some of the things that I've done? What are the reasons for that? Why did I choose the shirt? Is it did I freely choose to wear this? Is it really my choice? Or are there factors and forces outside of my control? And fundamentally, causality is broken into two parts. Either the internal motivations, the stuff that comes from within, or the external, the stuff that's outside of us. Factors and forces we don't see. Society, expectations, socializations, the way we're raised, the things that we believe about, the things we've been told about the world and then we believe. And sometimes it's over here, the things we choose to believe, right? What is the choice? Do we make it, and do I make a choice to believe? I don't know, sometimes there are choices, I can't even make the choice. Sometimes it's really beyond, like, when is it my choice and when is it not my choice? And we're all fighting and arguing about that. And if you're hanging out, drinking a few beers this weekend and talking about anything, I have no idea why people voted for Trump, what's going on in Washington right now with the Supreme Court, why some people are rich, why some people are poor, all sorts of things, why you either will or will not make it through college, what your major is. We're going back and forth all the time, putting our causality into one of two places. Either A, internal decisions, who we are and what we are, the choices we're really making, or B, the factors and forces outside of our control that are shaping us. The fact that you were born in a particular family that really socialized you to be an engineer. You never really thought about anything but being an engineer, and you would in a million years choose to be a theater major. Even though you might say, well, it's my choice to be an engineer. No, it's not your choice to be an engineer. If it's your choice to be an engineer, then why is it that everybody in your situation becomes an engineer and they don't become theater majors? Like, what is that? It's the back and forth. And so we're always trying to understand this causality. And in the world of race relations, causality is fundamental because we see these inequalities between people. And we want to understand why we have inequality. Is it like, why are white people on top? Is it white supremacy? Is it white racism? Is it things white people do? Or is it, I don't know, why are other people then on the bottom? Is it things they do? Do white people, do we just really just have this vision for how to organize the world and work harder and do this and do that? Or do we set up situations that make it more difficult and less possible for some groups to rise up to that? Why are Native Americans so poor? Why are they the poorest group in the United States? They were the first people here. They should be, they had a head start on everybody else. They should be doing really well. Why are they by far and away the poorest of all groups in the United States? Why? Is it themselves? Is it choices that Native Americans are constantly making to stay poor? Or is it factors and forces that are largely outside of their control? Or is it both? And if it's both, how do they entangle themselves together? And why is that guy on College Avenue right now homeless? How do you get homeless? And why if you give him $10,000, $500,000, will 2 years from now he still be homeless? How is that? Will those be decisions that he freely makes, or will he make decisions that are really shaped by factors and forces that not even he understands? And so that's what we're arguing about and struggling with all the time. And what makes, by the way, side comment, a good life is our ability to disentangle those and understand when each force is coming into play in our own lives. But that's neither here nor there. So that's the basic side of it.